Texas has over 191,000 miles of wild and scenic rivers, and over 95% of the state is in private ownership. We have state-owned public reaches of stream, but it's difficult to access those areas because of private ownership of riverbanks.
I coordinate a little program called the River Access and Conservation Program. We call it RACA for short. We find landowners that are willing to allow access across their property.
We've created these access opportunities on places like the Brazos River, the Guadalupe River, Neches River. At this point, over 100 miles of Texas rivers.
Running a program like this requires lots of different expertise. We've done a pretty good job, and I cannot be prouder of my team.
Imagine walking through a desert landscape, just completely dry, full of cactus, and all of a sudden you come over this edge of a mesa and you look down and you see what you believe to be a mirage of Caribbean-like turquoise water. And that's the same vision that people from 10,000 years that have been living in this area, you know, prehistoric humans have been drawn for that same view.
It has a special way of you becoming part of the river.
Well, the history of the RACA program came about by me going to Austin to the Parks and Wildlife headquarters. And in the meeting room, before the meeting, there was an issue of Parks and Wildlife magazine there on the table. And in that magazine, there was a story about this program. I got back, I talked to Bo, we reached out to Tim Birdsong in the fisheries, and he said, this would work if you want to reach out to landowners and see if there's some interest.
Most of the landowners who are staunch protectors and guardians of the river, they didn't say no, but they say heck no. The last landowner that we asked and that Joe asked was Del Dickinson, Skyline Ranch.
The best way to protect the river was to keep people off. I was totally against it.
And Del said no, and I thought the program was dead in the water.
As people have come in over the years, they don't have the same sense of history and heritage that the old folks do. However, I've also found the longer those folks are out here, the more they have come to appreciate what we consider so dear.
Get a random call like I do every once in a while from him, and he said, "Remember that conversation we had 2 weeks ago, Joe?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you know, I think we want to pursue that."
Del and I met Riverside and had a frank conversation about active monitoring on the sites.
Everybody tent camping, or anybody sleeping on flat rocks in the group?
I think we might have one sleep on flat rocks.
I was astounded at the results. They were almost immediate and, from my standpoint, totally effective. We had historically had ever-increasing trespass incidents and trash incidents. Those essentially went to zero. I would give almost anything to protect this river. I've said it before and I'll say it again. My hope is that we all don't love it to death.
I do have a 5-year-old son. Benjamin will be 6 in August. I would hope that we could take care of the river so that when he's old enough, he could go experience the same river then as we enjoy today. This place is cleansing to the soul.